Listen-only mode.
Swagatam. Today is Budhavasarah, Ashtadashah Dinankaha, which is the 18th of May, Samasa Prakaranam. So this is the Dvandva Samasa Prakaranam. Stu Mangalacharanam, Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate, Ramam Ramesham Bhaje, Ramena Bhihata Nishachara Chamu, Ramaya Tasmai Namaha, Rama Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham, Rame Chittalaya Sada Bhautame Bho Rama Mamuddhara, Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame, Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane, Shri Rama Nama Varanana, Onnam Iti. Shri Maheshwara Sutrani, Ayun, Rulrak, Eong, Ayauch, Hayavarat, Lanya, Nyamang, Na, Nam, Jabang, Ghadadash, Jabagadash, Kapha Chata Chata Tab, Kapai, Sha Sar Hal Iti Mahasha Sutrani. Sha Sar Hal Iti Mahasha Sutrani. Okay. Today I have a different headset, so if you cannot hear me by any chance, let me know. The usual phone line was not working, so I am on a mic and headset today for the first time. I think it should be okay because my voice looks okay, but in case you cannot hear me, please raise your hand and let me know if you cannot hear me. Okay, last time I just want to clarify one thing. We are on the last page of the book, very last part. Last time it took some more time because we were trying to connect to Siddhanta Kaumudi. So, which is again thanks to Kalpesh and Ravi, we have the Siddhanta Kaumudi document, which is a very nice document. So it gives us, all the entire Siddhanta Kaumudi for this section. That is very, very useful. So this is the one, Samasa Prakaranam. Let me make a different document here. So we were looking at it last time. So we went and looked at that where we are in the Kaumudi. The Kaumudi is really our basic text. Our fundamental text is the Kaumudi. So we have to follow, what the Kaumudi is saying. So from now on for this Prakaranam, luckily we have this one in online form. We did not have it. We did not have it before, so now we have it. So one more time is we were looking at Siddhanta Kaumudi last time, and we started from here. We start from the Dvandva Samasaha, from this one, Charte Dvandvaha. So in the Kaumudi, it's Sutra number 901. From 901, it goes all the way down to this 930. From 901 to 930 in the Kaumudi is the Dvandva Samasa Prakaranam. So 901 to 930. In fact, just like when we have the idea of the Sutra numbers in Ashtadhyayi, maybe we can also start getting an idea of numbers in the Siddhanta Kaumudi. So 901, of course, there are some Pathabhedas, but we can still get an idea. 901 to 930 is the Dvandva Samasa Prakaranam. Dvandva Samasa Prakaranam in the Siddhanta Kaumudi. Prakaranam in the Kaumudi. So Kaumudi. So if it's so for the rest of your life, if there's any question about Dvandva Samasaha, there are really only these 30 sutras. So it's just not that much, it's just not that much to look at. Dvandva Samasa Prakaranam. If you want to look at any Dvandva Samasa, have any question of Dvandva Samasaha, this is the greatness of Kaumudi. So only from here, Charte Dvandvaha, and then, up to this Sutra number 930, that's all we have to worry about in the Dvandva Samasa Prakaranam. It's only about a couple of pages, 2 or 3 pages. Okay, the one thing last time I don't know if I made a mistake at the end of the class. Sometimes at the end of the class I make a mistake. So anyway, in case I did, I'm not sure if I did or not. These last 2 or 3 examples given in the book, which I think by mistake I may have said this, Stri cha pumanscha tri stri pumsau and rukcha sam. I'm talking about these 3 here. I know in a hurry I mentioned in the class. So these are not samahara. These are not samahare. These are going to be itaritara yoga. So these 3 sutras, these 3 examples, udaharanani, which is stri cha pumanscha stri pumsau, rukcha sama cha ruksame, and vakcha manascha vang manase. These are in Itaritara Yoga, not in Samahare. It's pretty clear. You can see it here that this is dvivachanam. Sri Pumsau is dvivachanam. So is Ruksame dvivachanam. I think at the end of the class I may have said by mistake. I hope I didn't. In case I said, please correct that. These are not, in fact, that's the reason that I mentioned on the prior page, the same long sutram 5477, which you have been seeing. On the prior page, he took some examples. Antoine took some examples about this Naktan Divam, Ratra Diva, and so on, Ahar Divam, Ratrin Divam, Akshivam. These were Samahare. These were Samahare, the same sutrams. In the same, this 5477, that long sutram, which is the longest sutram, Dirghatamam Sutram Ashtadhyayam, Dirghatamam Sutram. And that has a combination of these, combination of these. Some of them are Bahuvrihi, some of them are Tatpurushas, some of them are, Itaretara Yogaha, some of them are. So these, Stri Pumsa, Dhenmanaduha, Ruksama, and this Vang Manasa. So these are going to be in Itaretara Yogaha. Then after that starts at least he grouped them together. They grouped together. So Akshibhrava and the, this Daragava, Urvashchiva, Padashchiva, Naktandiva, Ratrindiva, Ahardiva. So these are going to be in Samahare. And this in the Kaumudi and in the Kashika, they're given all the Vigraha Vakyani. So if you look at 5477, one more, before we are almost finishing up with this lesson now. So if we look at 5477, let's look at 5477 here. 5477 is given the, so there are 11 of these Dvandva Samasas there, 11 of them. And there he gives the Vigraha Vakyam over there. So first one it is Stri cha Pumascha Stri Pumsau. In Dhenuscha Anadvamscha Dhenmana Duhau. So these are going to be Itaretara Yogaha. Rukcha Samacha Ruksame. Of course, again Itaretara Yogaha. You can see the Dvivachanam. Dvivachanam at the end. Because Samaharam is has to be Ekvachanam, Ekavat. Then Vakcha Manascha Vang Manase. This is also Itaretara Yogaha. But from here on, Akshicha Bhruvaucha Akshibhruvam is Ekavat. Darascha Gavascha Daragavam. Urucha Ashtivantaucha Urvashtivam. So these are all going to be the Samahare. So one more time, in this Sutram 5477, you have these Ekadasha Dvandva Samasaha, Ekadasha Dvandva Samasaha. And within that, the first Stri Pumsau, Dhenmanaduhau, and the Ruksame and Vang Manase. These four are in the, in fact, let me go to the Kaumudi document. Let me show that. So in the Kaumudi, we'll have it here. Let's see with the long sutram, Vivasham, Jatira Praninam, Charananam, Vak Manase, Akshibhajantanam, Samuchaitaritara Yogaha. Give me 1 second. Vishishtaling, Vivasha, Visha, Vipashedam. Okay, let me try to find this one, because the Kaumudi order is, in fact, give me 1 second, I'll look it up here, get the Kaumudi number, because Kaumudi also will have the same, the entire thing given. There also we can see this number 945.
945.
Yes, thank you, Kalpesh, 945. So that's one thing though now. I told you confidently that Dvandva Samasa goes from 901 to 930, but this is 945. 945. It's outside of this 941. So yes, so even though I did say that the Dvandva Samasa Prakranam goes from here to here, you can find every answer, but yeah, there will be one or two little pieces hanging outside. Why are they hanging outside? Because they are common to many types of samasas. So when there are some sutras which are common to different types of samasas, then you can have them outside this 901, 930 also. So yeah, so as Kalpesh said, this one, yes.
Satishji, the rationale seems to be it's in the Samasanta Prakaranam, so we need that.
Yeah, Samasanta Prakaranam also comes. Yes, very good. That's also, yeah, Vasu is also a good point he makes, that there is also Samasanta Prakaranam. Yes, very good point by Vasu. So not only there can be different kinds of Samas, but it's really Samasanta Vidhi. The Samasanta Vidhi it is. Yes, good point. Thank you, Vasu. So Samasanta Prakaranam, so that will also go in a different place. So not all of them will be in this one place. Okay. So yeah, Samasanta Prakaranam is separately listed in the Kaumudi. Samasanta Prakaranam. Anyway, so here there are, you see those, and here he does say that he says, Tata ekadashaha is a typo here. Ekadashaha, ekadasha dvandvaha. There's a typo here. Ekadasha dvandvaha. And then he gives the first four, Stri Pumsau, Dhenvana Duhau, Ruksame, and Wang Manase, Itaritara Yogaha. And then from here the seven, Akshani cha Bhruvaucha Akshabhruvam, Darashchagavascha Daragavam, Uru cha Ashtivantau cha Urvashtivam, Nipatana Tilopaha, then Padashtivam, then you get the Naktan cha Divacha Naktan Divam Ratrau cha Divacha Ratrin Divam, this one also here, and then you have Ahani cha Divacha Ahardivam, and then Ahani cha then Ahardivam. So that's what it is. So anyway, last time, in case I mentioned my mistake in the class, I hope I didn't, but in case I did, that these last three over here given in the book is given in the reverse order. In the book is in the reverse order, because he has given first on the prior page, he gives these ones which are in this samahare. Naktan cha divacha naktan divam, ratrau cha divacha ratrin divam, ahani cha divacha ahar divam, and then he gives akshini cha bhruvocha akshibhruvam, and then the next page, this current page, is going to give these three now. Stri cha pumanshcha stri pumsau, ripcha samacha riksame, vakcha manascha vang manase. So these are coming in the same sutram 5477, but among the set of 11 Dvandva Samasaha, the first 4, Itaritara Yogaha, and the remaining 7 are in Samahare. So this is what you're going to get. Okay, but last time you were finishing this one, the Agni Shomau. Agni Shomau, we were looking at that, okay? So that we were looking at these three rules, which is 6.3. Now 6.3, remind you one more time, is a 6.3 is the adhikara of Uttarapade. Uttarapade. So 6.3 means some karyam for the Purva Padam. In a samasaha. In a samasaha, like you say, like Vishwamitra, like Mahatma. Something has happened to the Purva Padam. Atmane Padam. Parasmai Padam. You know, so it says Ashtavimshatihi. So something is happening to the Purva Padam, something is changing. That is the topic of 6.3. 6 or 6.3. So what are we looking at right now? We're looking at the example of examples like, you know, Agna Vishnu, and we're looking at, you know, the example like Agni Shomau. So somehow that Agni has become Dirgha. So this must be a topic of 6.3. So just always keep an idea of the Ashtadhyayi. I know in the beginning you think, why do I need that? But trust me, it will going to make your, you know, make you much more versatile, makes you much more skilled in analyzing problems if you can analyze the Ashtadhyayi. So this must be some sutram in 6.3. So Agni Shomau, something is happening to this Agni, become this the Ikara Adeshaha. And we saw the sutram last time itself, we saw the sutram, which is 6.3, which is Idagnehe Soma Varunayoho. Idagnehe Soma Varunayoho, very straightforward sutram. More, this is the strength of Panini, is that he reduces the language into most optimized bits. That is the Ashtadhyayi. Ashtadhyayi is basically taking the whole grammar of the language and making it into the most efficient teaching, with efficient pieces, you know. So there it says Idagnehe Soma Varunayoho. You exactly pinpoint when does Agni take the Ikara Adesha, is when in the Uttarapadam is Soma, Uttarapadam is Varuna, then we get the Alontyasya, Agni takes the Ikara Adesha, becomes Agni Somau. So of course Vigraha Vakyam is straightforward. You have to always start from 2 to 29, which is Charte Dvandvaha. The good news is that any Dvandva Samasaha is really only one sutram. There is only one sutram. In 2.1.2.2, first of all, any samasa has to be authorized. So it says samasa vidhayaka sutrani dvitiyasya adhyayasya prathame dvitiye cha pade grihyante. There's only 2 padas of Ashtadhyayi which talk about the samasa vidhayaka sutrani, those which authorize, those which prescribe a samasaha, and in that there's only one sutram, charte dvandvaha. for a Dvandva Samasa, Charte Dvandva. When you start, always start from there. So I think we did last time, we did Agni Su plus Soma Su. Again, there are two kind of Vigraha Vakya. One is the Laukika Vigraha, Agnishcha, Somascha, and one is the Alaukika Vigraha. The technical breakdown is Agni Su, Soma Su. Of course, we get the usual Kritradita Samasascha, Supodhatu Pradipatikayoho, Supluk. These are always the common steps. And we get Agni Somo. This is where we came last time. Agni Somo. If we go to the Kaumudi document, let's see where he gives that. This is number 6327. Kaumudi number 923. 923. So let's go there. What does Bhattoji say? Whether this Kaumudi is meant to be memorized. This Kaumudi is meant to be memorized. Please keep on repeating, even if you don't understand the meaning, doesn't matter. Some of them are, of course, very simple. Like Idagnehe Soma Varunayoho. Devata Dvandve Ityeva. Devata Dvandve Ityeva. It has to be the Agni Devata, the Soma Devata, and the Varuna Devata. If somebody has a name of Agni, somebody has a name of Somaha, then it will not be like that. We can make Agni Somo Manavakau. So there are two boys. Whose name is, one boy's name is Agni, one boy's name is Soma. Of course, you can have that. So then in that case, we do not get. So yes, Devata Dvandve Ityeva. Every single word, every single sentence in the Kaumudi is very, very important. Just like in the Ashtadhyay, Bhattoji will not waste a single letter. He will not waste one single letter. So which means that this has been extremely carefully compiled with enormous amount of effort. So which means that you are not wasting your effort also. That's what I'm trying to tell you. By reading Kaumudi, you are not wasting your effort one bit. If you read some other book, they might repeat, they might do this, some things might be wrong, something might be repeated, some things might be out of order. I mean, I'm not saying other books are bad. They're also good. But this here is this has been tested and optimized also. So Idagnehe Somavarunayoho Devata Dvandve Ityeva. Only Devata Dvandve. It doesn't even give you the real because it says Spashtam. Because see, Id Agnehe Somavarunayoho. So the Agni will take the Ikara Adeshaha Somavarunayoho. The very fact that Bhattoji is not giving you even that much means that the sutra spashtaha, spashtamidam. So vidhi is spashta vidhi. So therefore he will not giving you that what it is. So when Bhattoji says spashtam, or he says he doesn't give you anything, means there is something very simple going on here. The vidhi. So it very simply means that when Soma or Varuna follows as the Uttarapadam, then we get the Agni takes the Ikara Adeshaha, then he takes the next Uttaram, Agnehe Stoma Somaha. Now look how we jumped. We jumped to 8382. That's the one thing I always give you a warning about the Kaumudi, is that it's not the Kaumudi's fault, but always see which section of the Ashtadhyaya you are going to. Now we're going to a completely different section of the Ashtadhyaya. This one was a section of Uttarapade. Uttarapade. Which Adhikara are we in? Which country are we in? Which visa do we need to go there now? Where are we going in the Ashtadhyaya? And why does Bhattoji need that sutram over here? So this is the fun of the Kaumudi. Why does he need it? So what is he taking? He's taking 8382. Of course, here it's kind of straightforward in this case. Shatvam. We need to bring the Murdhanya Shakara Adeshaha. Murdhanya Shakara Adeshaha. And this is the Adhikara which starts from this here. Apadantasya Murdhanyaha. Apadantasya Murdhanyaha. This Adhikara starts from 8355. 8355. Really speaking, you are qualified to read Kaumudi when you are familiar with the Ashtadhyaya. So that would be one check and balance. You can do both side by side also. But if you really want to be safe, you have to be really familiar with the Ashtadhyaya and then read Kaumudi. Then read the Kaumudi. As I said, my teacher had the entire Ashtadhyaya memorized and also had the Lahu Kaumudi memorized. So then he's safe, because then he knows exactly when Ashtadhyaya, where are we going? Where are we going? The reason I keep mentioning in the class is that most people in the world today do not do that. They do not do that. They only read the Kaumudi, and that's a dangerous thing to do. The Adhikara of Apadantasya Murdhanyaha. Murdhanyaha. Just like when you go to a country, you ask what government there is. What is the government here? So same thing. When you go to Ashtadhyaya, what is the Adhikara here? Who has the Adhikara in this section? section is apadantasya murdhanyah. Murdhanyah is the adhikara here. And this section goes all the way up to 117. So for here says Agnehe stut stoma somaha. Agnehe stut stoma somaha. So following Agni. So let's see what does Bhattoji give as the vritti for this one. Vritti for this one, it says Agnehe paresham esham sasya murdhanya shakara sasya shaha syat samase. Very simple vigraha, very simple vritti. If you don't understand the vritti, don't worry, it'll come back to you slowly. Keep on reading this. This is very straightforward. Agnehe paresham. So this Agnehe is Panchami. Because see, why does he want to mention this? Because Agnehe could have been a Panchami, could have been a Shashti. Like Nyasi and Nyas will be same form, Agnehe. So he says Agnehe paresham. So tasmadityu uttarasya paresham sasya shasyat samase agnishtomaha agnishomau. Now agnishomau, if you did not, first of all, why do you need this sutram? Could we not just use adesha pratyayoho? Clearly we cannot in agnishomau. In agnishomau we cannot use, because this sakara has to be an adesha or should pratyavayavaha. It is not. This somo, this sakara is not. So there itself we cannot use adesha pratyayoho. Though we have the ikara preceding, so inko is required, but we cannot use adesha pratyayoho, because this sakara, unlike in rameshu, etc., the rameshu, that sakara was an avayavaha of the supratyaha. Here we cannot do that, because this sakara of soma is neither a adesha nor a pratyavayavaha. You cannot do it. So that's why we need this special sutram which says that following the word Agni, Stut, Stoma and Soma, the sakara of that will take the Murdhanya Shaka Adesha. Now this is what we are doing now as a side issue, and I don't want to spend too much time on this because we don't need this right now. But the question is that why do I just only spend 2 minutes, okay? Is why do you need the word Stut over here also? Because in Somaha, okay, sakara is not an adesha. The sakara is not a pratyavayava. We just talked about that. We cannot use adesha pratyayoho. But how about agnishtut? Agnishtut. What is happening over there? The dhatu is shtu. Shtu, I think shtu stutau. Shtu is stutau. I think we put in a document last time. This is the shtu stutau is a dhatu in dhatu pataha. Then what happens is that, but this is not today's topic, so I don't want to spend too much time on this, but since we have the sutram right now, I would like to mention that why do we need this shtut? Because so the sakara of soma is not an adesha, not a pratyavayavaha. But the sakara of stut is an adesha. It is an adesha. Because the dhatu is shtui in the dhatu patha with dhatu adeshasaha. Dhatu adeshasaha. Two very, very easy rules. When you get these very easy rules, you try to make them your own, you know. So that way you can, it's like low-lying fruit, so to speak, you know. Sukaram. So sugamani sutrani. Sugamani sutrani. So you can take them, you know, quickly. So shigram. Grihitavyani, which is the 61, 64, 65. Dhatvadeshasaha no naha. Dhatvadeshasaha no naha. Which means that in the dhatu patha, if you have a dhatu beginning with a murdhanya shakaraha, really it's a dantya sakaraha. And if it's a murdhanya nakaraha, it's a dantya nakaraha, which means that there is no real dhatu in usage, which is a shakaradi or nakaradi. This shakara or nakara in the dhatu patha is only like a device used by Panini, so that when the conditions arise, that sakara can go to a shakaraha or that nakara can go to a nakaraha. So this is only like a device used by Panini in the dhatu patha. So dhatu we are talking right now is this one, is shtui stutau. You're going to get the dhatuvadeshasaha and make it stu, because this takara only became because of stunashtuhu. This takara only came because of stunashtuhu. So when the murdhanya shakara goes to a dantya sakaraha, the stunashtuhu will unwind itself. The stunashtuhu will unwind. Nimittam for the takara has gone away and gave you the paribhasha nimittasyapaye naimittikasyaapyapayaha. So this will become stu. Stu. So this sakara is an adesha. It came from the shakara in the dhatu patha and dhatu adeshasya. Then why do we need that agnehe stut stoma somaha? Why do we need it here also? Because the question is, in fact, the one, by the way, the one commentary on Siddhanta Kaumudi, Tattva Bodhini. Tattva Bodhini. There are two famous commentaries on the Siddhanta Kaumudi, is Tattva Bodhini and Bala Manorama. Since we are doing Kaumudi now, and Kaumudi, as I said, is our basic text, it is everybody's basic text. Kaumudi is not only our basic text, it is everybody's basic text is Kaumudi. Any grammar book is Siddhanta Kaumudi in some form. So there are two main commentaries here, and they are two main commentaries. One is called the Tattva Bodhini, and again, I hope you are all following the daily examples coming to you. So there in that you must have seen is being mentioned, and one is the Tattva Bodhini, Tattva Bodhini, and the other is the Bala Manorama. So Bala Manorama. Out of that, the Tattva Bodhini is the more difficult. I mean, as the name implies, the Bala Manorama is supposed to be, so Balana Manamsi Ramayati, so which gives joy, or which delights the minds of the students. Bala Manorama. It does. But the one problem there is that, unfortunately, the Bala Manorama, for some editing problems, as we saw in this class before, has some issues. So I would not recommend that in the beginning, Bala Manorama. Even though it's very tempting, it's extremely tempting to read the Bala Manorama, and it's a good commentary. I'm not trying to put it on at all. You have to be careful, though. You have to be careful. Sometimes there are some glaring editing issues there. So Tattva Bodhini is the one you can read confidently. This is the one you want to read confidently, Tattva Bodhini. And I guess eventually I hope to have, we have to get these online. We have some bits and pieces online, but they're not well edited, as you know. We have the Tattva Bodhini, here we have the Bala Manorama, and here also we have the Tattva Bodhini we have, but unfortunately this needs to be edited. We'll get to it eventually, we'll get to all of these things, so this has to be edited. So my point is that if you have a question on the Kaumudi, first go to Tattva Bodhini commentary. It is not a very easy commentary. It is not a very easy commentary, so don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged. If after you get some practice with that, you will be able to make more use of it. But if you are in the beginning, Tattva Bodhini will be a bit hard for you, for anybody, for us. But in case that is the authority. Tattva Bodhini is the authority of Siddhanta Kaumudi. Excuse me for 1 second. Excuse me, please. I'm sorry. See, normally I call on the phone. Today I couldn't call on the phone, so I'm using my headset, but the phone rang, unfortunately. Okay. All right. Anyway, Tattva Bodhini is the commentary. So if you want to have any question on Kaumudi, go to Tattva Bodhini. Tattva Bodhini is not very easy. It's also not as detailed as Bala Manorama. But still, the one thing with Tattva Bodhini is that there are basically hardly any errors. There are hardly any errors. So if you find the answer in Tattva Bodhini, you are on good. You can rely on that. You can rely on that. So that's why I put Tattva Bodhini first. Okay. Now the point is that sometimes the same point from Tattva Bodhini will come in Bala Manorama. That is good. If you get the same point from Tattva Bodhini coming in Bala Manorama, that's also fine. Maybe we can get more details. But I think going to Bala Manorama just in the beginning, we have to be a little bit careful. Okay. So what is my point right now is that we have this thing which is the Agnishtut. What kind of compound is Agnishtut? Why do we need the sutram Agnehe Stut Stoma Somaha? Can we not use Adisham? Yes.
Yeah. I have a question here because it's not very clear to me. You brought up the issue of Dhatu Adeshatsaha, and then we also talked about Chunashtu.
Yes.
Now the question is, it looks as though without the sutra, it will put that Mutanya Shakara back there with the Takara.
No, the thing is that, if we did not, by Adesha Pratyayo, it looks like should work, shouldn't it?
Even without Adesha Pratyayo, if we use the sandhi between Agni and
Stut. Agni and Stut, if you do that, how will you get the Murtani Shakara Adesha from where? From Adesha Pratyayo only, right?
Simple sandhi rule of Chunashtahu would not do that. No, there is no.
Chunashtu only when you have the Sakara or Tavarga in contact with the Murdhanya, Shakara or Tavarga. This we are talking about Sakara taking the Murdhanya Shakara Adesha. There is no Chunashtu in the first step, no. Chunashtu is the second step,
Second step.
Yeah. So first we're talking about how to make in Agni Shtut, make these Sakara. Now looks at face value that Adesha Pratyaya should work. Because as I said to you, this Sakara of Stu is an Adesha. We do have the in prior Agni, so why not use Adesha Pratyayoho? And the problem is in the last class is that there's Nisheda Sutram Sat Padadyoho, which is why I'm making all this trouble, is that you should remember this Sutram Sat Padadyoho. What it says is that a Padadi Sakaraha does not take the Murdhanya Shakara Adesha. So, even when we read Agni Soma, this Soma plus Su got the Padasanya by Suptingantam Padam Pratyaya Lope Pratyaya Lakshanam Suptingantam Padam. If Soma has the Padasanya, the Adi Sakara of Soma will not take the Murdhanya Shakara Adesha because of Sat Padadyoho. So the Pratyaya is Sat Pratyaya, used in Gita in chapter 4. Bhasmasat Kurute Arjuna. This Sat is a Pratyaya, but also any Padadi Sakara. So Sat Padadyoho means that the Sakara of the Pratyaya Sat, which is used in Gita, it's used in Gita in the chapter 4. Yathai dhamsu samiddhognir bhasmasat kurute juna jnana nisarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tatha is bhasmasat. Of course, in the Gita there is no nimittam for the shatvam. See Agnisat. Agnisat means reduce it to fire, make it one with fire. Agnisat. So this one I'm talking about in Gita, this prana apana. So Karmajanya Shnatva Yathe Dhamsi Samiddhognir Bhasmasat Kurute Jana. This one over here. This chapter 4, number 36. So Pratyaya Sat is there. Bhasmasat. So that's Sat Pratyaya, which is not so important, it's only one Pratyaya. But any Padadi, this Sakara will not become because of Sat Padadyoho. Sat Padadyoho is number 83111. Now, in Agni plus Soma, this Sakara is out on two counts. It is not an Adesha, not a Pratyavayavaha, but it's also Padadi. So that also is gone. So this Soma has multiple problems. So in Agni Soma, you definitely need the 8382. Definitely need the Sutram 8382, which says that the Agnistut Stomas Somaha. But then why Agnishtut, why not? We do have the Murdhanya Shakaraha. But here also what is happening is that, reading from Tattvabodhini commentary, now in fact let me see, maybe I can show it to you on the screen. Give me 1 second. This is 8382, and that is Tattvabodhini will settings. You'll have that. Is that, see, this is Sat Padadyoho iti nishedhe praptyayam arambha Agnishtut iti. So Tattvabodhini clearly says that Sat Padadyoho iti nishedhe prapte ayam arambha. So this sutram is required because of the sutram Sat Padadyoho is going to come and cause a problem. So that's why Agnishtut. So what does it give? Agnihi stuyate asmin saha katu visheshaha. There's some typos here. So this Agnishtut, so stuyate asmin itishtut, sampadadibhya quip. Now I will not go through all the details for you. Basically what is happening here is that stut is a kind of yajna. It's a kind of yajna. It's a yajna in which you praise Agni. Praise Agni. The yajna in which Agni is praised, called Agnishtut, is Katu Vishesha. It's a yajna. So now here also what happens is that because that stut, which is the yajna vishesha, kratu vishesha, it takes the padasanya now. So even in Agni stut, without the sutram, Agni stut sat, Agni stut stoma somaha, without that sutram, the sat padadyoho would have stopped shatvam. Because that stut is also has this padadi sakaraha, it will stop shatvam. That's why you do need to mention the stut in here also, even though the sakara is an adesha and normally would qualify for adesha pratyayoho, but because of sat padadyo, it is nishedha would have come. So that's, anyway, this is only a side topic. It's not, we don't need it right now, because right now we're only looking at Agni Shoma. So this is very straightforward for us. Agni Shoma was straightforward because the sakara of Soma is not in Adesha, it is not Pratyavayavaha, it's also Padadi. So not only does Adesha Pratya not apply, but even if it did apply, you would have the Nishedha by Sat Padadyo. The only reason I'm being Agni Shtut is I want to remember this sutram if you can. If you can, don't forget this sutram, Sat Padadyo. Sat Padad. It's a very important sutram. There's a reason why I went into this thing. We don't really need it right now because the sakara Soma is not a adesha, not a pratyavayavaha. You don't have to come to Sat Padadyoho, but in a word like Agni Shtut, you need to use Sat Padadyoho. It's a Nishedha, because it's a Nishedha sutram. Anuvritti of no is coming down. This is Nishedha. Okay, let's follow the book, which is Prakritam Anusarama. Let's follow the topic at hand. Agni Varunau, straightforward, because the same sutram Agni Varunau is nothing, because specifically Pani is the Vishesh Vidhanam. The Pani specifically said, which is this one here, is that Id Agnehe Soma Varunayoho. Because Varuna is following, the Agni will take the Id Agnehe. Now this is because remember what we had before. Before we had the sutram in the Ashtadhyaya, which is talking about the Anangadesha. So in Ashtadhyaya, the sutram which Panini first gave is the Anangadesha. Anangaruto dvandve. So that means that this one is an apavada for that, isn't it? Is an apavada for that. Is an apavada for that sutram. So it says, I think it might even Agnishtomaha. Agnehe stuyate asmin Agnishtomaha. Sat padadyoho. So otherwise, if this sutram was not there, let's look at the vritti of the sutram, because if the sutram was not there, we would have had the prior rule applying here. We would have had the Anangadesha. So 6326. 27, 6327, because the prior rule we had already seen, which talks about the Devata Dvandve, should make Ananga. Idagnehe. So Anuvartate, so this one, that. So you see Ananga Apavado Yam. So this is an Apavada for the Ananga. Because Anang was given as for any Devata Dvandva. When you have two Devatas, in a Dvandva Samasaha, we had the Anang prescribed, and then Idagnehe is an Apavada for that. So you get the forms Agni Shomo and Agni Varunau. So that is basically the bottom line. And in Agni Shomo, you have to use Agnehe Stutstoma Somaha to get the Shatvam. Okay. Next part in the book now he gives is that, but Agni Vayu. Because Agni Vayu, there is no question, because only from Soma and Varuna. Only on Soma and Varuna was there the Id Adesha. Here there is no Id Adesha. So now why do we not have the Ananga Adesha here also? Ananga Adesha. So he says Vayu Shabda Prayoge, because Vayu Shabda Prayoge Pratisheda. We saw last time is that from the Devata Dvandvecha has a Vartikam. Vayu Shabda Prayoge Pratisheda. If Vayu is one of the Devatas, then you can, okay, let's say this Agna Vishnu comes in the Chamaka Prashna. Agna Vishnu Sajosha Sema Vardhantu Vangira. Agna Vishnu. But then on the other hand, Agni Vayu, because when Vayu is used, then we do not have, then the Devata Dvandvecha will not do the Ananga. So that's why in the book, he has mentioned in the book that it should be Agni Vayu only, Agni Vayu. Not Agni Vayu and not Vayu, and neither will be Agna Vayu. So it will not be Agni Vayu because the Ida Desha only when Soma and Varuna follows, and the Agna Vayu also will not be there because that was only when Vayu was not used. So for both counts, we only end up with Agni Vayu. So basically, neither this 6326 nor 6327 apply for us. Neither 6326 nor 6327 apply for us. This is because the Vartikam, this one is stopped, and this one is only for Soma and Varuna. So the next part, as I said to you, is talking about these three samasas, which is Stri Cha Pumamscha Stri Pumsau. People be careful here. This is really, the Pratipadikam is Stri Pumsa. So Stri Cha Pumamscha, you get the Ach Pratyaya at the end. Ach Pratyaya becomes Stri Pumsa Pratipadikam. A little bit confusing here. When we look at Stri Pumsau, what is the Pratipadikam? Is it Stri Pums? Stri Pumsau. It is not Stri Pum. The Pratipadikam is Stri Pumsa. Stri Pumsa. It becomes Stri, become Pumamsau otherwise, right? You should become Pumamsau. If you take the Pratipadikam Pums, and of course you know all those rules. I hope you're practicing all this Subanta Prakriya, Subprakriya, practicing that, because as we know, that is the in 7.1 we have all these rules. That's 7.1. which is the Pumso Sung and the Pumso Sung. So it becomes the Asung, so it becomes, and the Dumsun Pratyaya has been used, Dumsun Pratyaya has been used, so that is the Ugit and all that. So Pumso Sung Sutram, which we have practiced. So if it had been Stri Pums, becomes Puman, Pumam So, Pumam Saha, and so on, it will become Stri Pumam So. So that is not, so because of the Achadeshaha, Ach Pratyanta Pratyaya, Ach Pratyaya is coming, that not Adeshaha, but Ach is a Samasanta Pratyaya, becomes Stri Pumsa. Stri Pumsa. This is special, again, this is a specific Dvandva Samasa given by Panini, which is in the Sutram, becomes Stri Pumsa. In fact, in the Sutram itself you can see Stri Pumsa. In the Sutram itself has Stri Pumsa. It's going to become like a Ramava Shabdhana. Stri Pumsa, of course, only in dual. So Rama is singular, but this is going to be Stri Pumsa. So it's going to become Stri Pumsau, Prathama Dvivachanam, Stri Pumsau, Dvitiya Dvivachanam, Stri Pumsabhyam, Stri Pumsabhyam, Stri Pumsabhyam, Stri Pumsayoho, Stri Pumsayoho. Declared like an Akaranta Pradipatikam. Creates an Akaranta Pradipatikam. It's no longer a Sakaranta Pradipatikam. Itaretara Yogaha. So that is the Sutram, so straightforward here. So Stri Pumsau is a Ach Pratyaya is given at the end in this particular Samasaha. So that is what it's given. Same thing, Ruksame. The Ruksame, let's derive this one. Now this is also the same Sutram 5477. It's talking about Ruksama. So then one will do Ruksama. So here what we have to do is Rich plus Samancha. So you get rich is the Pradipadikam. So let's do that one. This way where we stopped last time is the so let's do the Alaukika Vigraha Vakyam will be rich plus su plus you have to then do Saman Pradipadikam, Saman Pradipadikam, Saman plus su. So when we do that, of course, here we get the same Suttam Chartya Dvandva as usual, and then we remove the Antarvarti Supratyaya by Kritajita Samasashcha Supodhatu Pradipadikayoho. So this one is gone, and this one is gone. So we get Rik plus Saman. So this is going to be 1246. And also the 2471. Kritajita Samasashcha Supodhatu Pradipadikayoho. Then you get the Ach Pratyaya at the end by 5477. So which is Samasa Anta Pratyaya, so it's going to become a part of the Samasa itself. So you get Rik plus Saman plus you get the Pratyaya Ach over here. Of course, Halantyam Anubandha Lope That Chakara at the end is for the Swarartham, is for the Vedic Swaras, so we don't have to worry about that. So this one Halantyam, so we have used 5477. Now what happens is that this Angam gets the gets the bhasanya, gets the bhasanya by yachibham. Yachibham. This rich saman is the angam for the ach pratyaya. It gets the bhasanya by yachibham because anuvritti of swadishva sarvanama sthane comes to yachibham. So remember, this all the pratyayas from suadi, which is the 412, all the way to the end of 5th chapter are the swadi pratyaya. So all the way from 412 in the 5th chapter swadi pratyaya. So what happens is when you add any swadi pratyaya, you should always keep in mind, does the angam have padasanya? Does the angam have bhasanya? Does the angam have neither padasanya nor bhasanya? If it is sarvanama sthana pratyaya, it will have neither padasanya nor bhasanya. It will only be an angam. But sarvanama sthanam is only, suva, just I'm out, or is the she pratyaya, napunsakalinge. So when you add any tadhita pratyaya, when you add in pratyaya which is tadhitaha, in that case there is no question of sarvanama sthanam. So means when you add any tadhita pratyaya, the angam will have either the bhasanya or the padasanya. So you definitely have one of these, and exactly one of these. So here yachibham, because the pratyaya is ajadi, of course, so pratyach. Then yachibham means you have to call the subroutine of bhasyadhikaraha. Immediately call the bhasyadhikaraha. Yachibham means call the bhasyadhikaraha. It's like a computer program. And here you have a sutram which is nastadhite. So you get the tibha. So if you have a nakarantam angam, we are in the angasyadhikara, of course, angasyadhikara, nakarantam angam if you have, and which has the bhasanya, which we do, right now we do, because we do have the angam which is rich saman, nakarantam angam, and this is, because remember the ach pratyaya was described as the entire samasaha, samasantaha. So this entire thing is the angam for the ach, rich saman. So this is nakarantam angam, and the ach pratyaya is a tadhita pratyaya because the adhikar of tadhitaha starts from 4176 tadhitaha 4176. So definitely 5477 is in the adhikaraha. So the samas anta adhikaraha is within the tadhita adhikaraha. So by nastadhite we're going to see that we're going to do tilopaha. We don't need that. Nastadhite is 64144. So one more time, nastadhite says that nakarantam angam, which has the bhasanya, followed by pratyaya which is tadhita sanya, then you get tilopaha. So you get tilopaha. So now what's going to happen? So 64144, we're going to lose the anbhagaha. So now we're going to get the rich sam rich sam is what you're going to rich sam. So we're going to get the t bhagasya lopaha by nastadhite. So it's going to become only sam. And so this what we have used here, we have used 64144. So one more time, nastadhite. Fairly straightforward sutram. Angam has to have the bhasanya, should be nakarantam angam, and the following pratyaya should have the tadhita sanya. In that case, the t bhagaha takes lopaha. Become nastadhite. So become 64144. You can remove, of course, this akara is gone. Got riksama, then decline like vanashabda, vanam, vane, vanani, become riksame, and of course you do the chuhokuhu. So these are all, hopefully the second nature for you by now. So when you do that, then you see all these adeshahas for the supratyaya are done in 7.1. 7.1 you have just a she napunsakacha anga apaha napunsakacha. If you look at 7119, this is in vanashabda itself, we have done that. If you look at 7119, you have to use 7119 napunsakacha. You also have to use chohokuhu, because that rich got the supratyaya and it took the look. So because of pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam suptingantam padam, rich has the padasanya, so chohokuhu, he gets this one. So he says napumsakadangaduttarasya klibad anga shisyat. So this has become, that's what happens. So 7119 followed by, it's just this is only a suprakriya now, become riksame. Riksame will be the final form. Riksame. So this is going to be 7119. Of course, first you bring in the pratyaya au, pratyaya ruksam 7119, and along with the, maybe I'll put that here also, 412, bring in the pratyaya dvivachanam, au pratyaya 7119, and also begin the chuhokuhu, chavarga, kavarga adesha. So that's how ruksami came along. The important sutram here was nastadite. So nastadite. And the last one he gives is the other one in the book. Okay, Indu has a question. Let me talk to Indu. Yes, Indu.
Sadishji, we have to apply na dadipaya adini, isn't it? To prevent the...
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. I forgot about that. Yes, thank you. This is, in fact, Anuji mentioned last time also. Yes, see, good, thank you. Okay, what Indu is saying is that this one is, okay, that's what I was talking in the class last time. Okay, now I get it. Okay, all right. I think now, okay, thank you. What I'm saying is that this Ruk and Sama, these are going to be, okay, now I remember what I was thinking about. So last time there was no mistake in last class. I didn't make a mistake. That's the good news. Only thing I forgot this class also to mention that fact is that, so last class there was no mistake. I think the, so Ruksame is Itaritara Yoga. Now why are we not using the sutram which is the Jatira Praninam which we saw. So this is about the most important sutram in that Samahardunda Prakaranam, which is Jatira Praninam, which is any Jati Vachaka, Shabda Apraninam, that has to be only in the Samaharaha. In fact, that in the Kaumudi it came here. Thank you, Indu, and thank you, Anuji, for reminding me. So I remembered twice. I hope I won't forget this again next time. The things in the class which I forget, those I remember very well afterwards, because I forgot it twice in the class now to mention this one. Okay, so let's look at Jatira Praninam. Prani Varja Jati Vachina Dandva Ekavatta. So now Ruk and Saman, these are, not specific mantras of Rik Veda or Saman. Any mantra of Rik Veda is called Ruk, and Sama Veda is called Saman. So this is a Jati. It's a class, it's a genus. There can be many mantras. Many mantras can be in this class. So Ruksame would qualify with Jatira Praninam. So Dhandhana, Shashkuli, and so on. So now, why do we not have then Ekavat over here? Ekavat. Because of this Nisheda, Dadipayadini. So Dadipaya Ityadini, they do not. This is a Nisheda Sutram. They will never go in Samahara. The special sutras, these Dvandva Samasas, which normally should have qualified for Samahara, they will not go in the Samahara, they'll only go Itaritara Yoga. So here is Ruksame and Vang Manasa is given here. Vang Manasa. So this is the two things, Ruksame and Vang Manasa. So here we have the Ruksama, I think would qualify for, basically these would have normally qualified for Samahara, but this is not going to become. So Ruksame, I think we can use Jatira Praninam. So some sutram from here, which is in the 242 and down here, would have made these go into Samahara, but they are not going to go. I think Ruksame, I'm pretty sure we can use Jatira Praninam, and the Vang Manase is, we can probably use this one, which is Pranyanganam. So Pranyangana, so speech and mind are the limbs of a person. Pranyanganam, Pranituvya Senanganam. Because you have to scan this whole section and see which one that is really coming up, because why is, Panini making a Nishedha there? Why does Panini want to stop the Samahara? Obviously because Samahara Praptaha. Samahara Dunda Praptaha Nishidhyate. So Praptireva Nasti Chet. Nishedhena Kim. It is no Praptihi, there is no Nishedha. That means there must be Praptihi. So you have to scan this section. I think the one that I am coming to mind is Pranyanganam, Vang Manase. Would have Vang and Manas would have gone into a Samaharaha. And this is the Jatira Praninam would have been like that. So yes, so this is, so last class there was no error. Only thing I forgot in this class also from last class. See, unless you teach, you will never learn. Unless you teach, you will never learn. It is absolutely true. If I was sitting at home, it would not come to mind to me right now again. Very difficult. Because only when the students ask and, when different people you discuss, so vade jayate tattva bodha, right? Vade jayate tattva bodha. So unless you discuss, like in old times, when I say, Siddhanta Kaumudi is so perfect, there are no errors in it, it's optimized. It's not the work of one man. It is not, because he has so many scholars around him, to correct him, to advise him. Of course, he was a great man himself, but even Pani is Ashtadhyayi actually. Even Pani could have been an editor. So basically, he got all these things which are already there. Pani traveled a lot apparently all over India to get the various opinions, because he does say Lopashakalya, Bharadwajasya, Sphotanasya, which means that he met these acharyas or the shishyas maybe, and he got all this together. So he also had lot of help possibly from all the other acharyas and sampradayas, but of course he put it together the best. So Pani put it together the best. So even Bhattoji, same thing. It's not one message in a vacuum somewhere. They had all these people, and then his shishyas also. They come and they correct and they make suggestions. So it is the whole, the Shishta Samaja is what is important. So anyway, thank you. So yes, so we need this Dhadipaya Adini is make Dhadipaya Adini is telling us don't do Samahara. Even the Samahara would have come Jatir Paranam. So yes, so 1-4-2-4-14, I hope. Yes.
Intriguingly, when he gives the example in this one, Bhattoji, Dhadipayadini, immediately he says Rik Samasa. What is the connection here? Is there a Gana there? Or?
It's a Gana. Dhadipaya is a Gana. It's a Gana. So he gives it.
And in that Rik and Sama is included?
Yes, if you look at Dhadipayadini, it is 2-4-4. It is a Gana. When Pani says Adi or Pravati, it's in the Gana Patha.
Yeah.
In the Gana Patha. So here we see in the Kashika, Dhadipayasi, Sarpa, Sarpir, Madhuni, and so on. And in the end, he has the Ruks. There's a typo here. There's a Ruksam, is a typo here. Ruksame and Wang Manasi. It's a Gana which has these in there. So he's given these as two famous ones, Ruksame and Wang Manase. Because what is happening in 5477, Pani does not really say whether this is a Samahararthe or it is the Itaritara Yoga. Only thing Pani says that use the Ach Pratyaya to make it Ruksama and Wang Manasa. But it does not say whether it should be Samahara. So normally you would have expected Samahara to come here. Instead of that, because of the Nisheda of 2-4-14, because of Ruksame and Wang Manase, we included in that Gana, Madhadipaya, Dipaya, Adini. So this don't do Samahara, it goes back to Dvandva. Okay, so no mistake in last class, only thing I forgot in this class again. So I hope this 2-4-14, which will only be Itaritara Yogaha. Itaritara Yogaha only, it will come, it will not come in the other one. Itaritara Yogaha. So, Itaritara Yogaha. So this stops Samahara. Samahara Nishedha. Stops Samahara. So same thing with the next one. Same thing with the next one, which is that the okay. Same thing with the next one, which we just did. Wang Manase is you go to the same step, make it Vach plus Manas, add the Ach Pratyaya, then become the Vach plus Manasa. Again, for the same reasons that it is in Na Dhadipaya Adini. You will not take Samahara, it will only be Itaritara Yogaha. Become so because Samahara becomes Ekavat. Samahara is Ekavat. So not Ekavat means because there are two items, becomes Vivachanam, becomes Wang Manase. Wang Manase. Of course, in Wang Manase, you have to do a different karyam, which is Yaro nuna sike nu nasiko va. Yaro nuna sike nu nasiko va. Yaro nuna sike nu nasiko va. So we have to go through all the same similar steps. So we have, so Wang Manase, it is really going to be, okay, I guess I don't have to put the steps again. You put Wang Manase, so same steps as above. So go through all the same steps as above, except that in the end, you end up with Vak plus Manase, and then you only thing is that use the Yaro nu nasike nu nasiko va. The greatest power is in these Pani Sutras. Keep on repeating them over and over and over again. Yaro nu nasike nu nasiko va. Even if you don't understand anything. Literally, I told him, my teacher should wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 4:35, and just keep on repeating sutras. Keep on repeating. Actually, one time this one Swami came to stay in his house, and he woke up at 4:30 in the morning with the Radha. He said, "What is going on here? Who is reciting Pani Sutras at 4:45 in the morning, because that's the best time. Yironu nasike nu nasikova. So anyway, okay. So we have to use that one to get nasika. This become wang manase. Okay, let's go on. So I think we are coming to the end now. So this we could talk about all these. Now this one is one special sutram here. Dyauscha prithivi cha dyava prithivyav, and the divas prithivya. The typo in the book, correct the typo. Okay, sorry, 2:4:14. Thank you, Usha. Thank you. Let's see this. Usha got her mic fixed. Let me talk to Usha. Oh, Usha, is your mic fixed, Usha? No. Okay.
Yes, I think. I don't know.
I can hear you. Faintly. Very faintly. Okay.
No, I think.
Okay.
Sanskrit is.
Okay. Anyway, so thank you. The typo I made, thank you, Usha, is that this should be 2:4:14. Thank you. 2:4:14, not 2:2:14. 2:4:14. Yes, sir. Now this about Dyaush cha Prithivi cha. So Dyava Prithivyordamantaram, he comes in Gita, right? Comes in Gita. Let's go to Gita first, which is coming over here. Dyava Prithivyordamantaram hi vyaptan tvayaitina dishascha sarvaha drishtvaadvatam rupam grantavedam lokatayam chavyatatam mahatman Dyava. So Dyava Prithivyordamantaram hi. So this comes in Gita chapter 11 number 20. So Dyava Prithivyoho idamantaram hi. This interspace between the heaven and the earth. Vyaptan tvayaikin dishascha sarvaha. This entire interspace has been atmosphere, what do you call it? The interspace is pervaded by you alone. Dishascha sarvaha, and all the directions are pervaded by you. So we say Dyava Prithivyoho. So become Dyava Prithivi is become the Pratipadikam here, but of course the Pratipadikam is really Div. Anybody in the class, how does Div become Dyauhu? Div become Dyauhu. So anyway, 8:4:45 for this one. Anybody in the class, how does you get the Div plus Su? How it become Dyauhu? We have done this in the Saturday class in your daily examples. So how does Div plus this is not related to today's topic, but just as a side, we have to practice these rules, right? So how does this one, how do we get the au adesha? So Div plus au plus sakara, of course, is going to come by. So what is sutram here? Okay, Indu has it. Good. Indu answered the question. So this is one thing, by the way. Indu's hand is up. Before I go to Indu, is that please make an effort to answer these questions, which are coming to you every single day. So every single day you're getting examples. Unless you make an effort to answer these, they're not going to come to you that easily. Because every single day we are giving you examples are coming here to the site. So if you make an effort to answer these, then only you'll get the most benefit. Because Hindu is answering these. This is now I'm taking you behind the scenes now. So let's see if you take any examples here. So unless you make an attempt to answer these questions, and if you just look at the answer a few days from now, that is also good. But the questions are meant so that's why we wait for a few days to give the answer. Wait for you a few days. So all these questions here, if you can try to answer, and then you can remember that. Because see, Hindu has her hand up because she answers the questions, So that is why you have to make an effort. Of course, all of us are pressed for time, but if you have time, try to answer the question. Even if you don't send a reply, you can send a reply to us. And one more thing to remind you is that we will never post anything which is embarrassing to you or which is wrong. All the responses are fully edited before being posted. So don't worry. Even if you send an answer which may not be correct, it doesn't matter because you're going to edit that. So don't worry about being embarrassed by sending an answer. Even if you don't want to send it in, at least answer yourself at home so you can be more prepared. You can appreciate the answer only if you have tried yourself. If you don't try yourself and just get the answer, you won't remember it, Udyamam vina smaranam na bhavati. Udyamam vina smaranam na bhavati. Without putting in the effort, you will not remember it. You will have the jitnyasa na jayate. that you had a Tivra Jitnyasa. Tivra Jitnyasa means that you really want to know, because you tried and you couldn't get the answer. Now you want to know what the answer is, and you remember that. So please try. Anyway, Indu, yes, Vasu.
Can I answer?
Yes, go ahead.
Diva out.
Diva out. Okay, Indu, Vasu has come through for us. So thank you, Indu. So Diva out. Diva out. So Indu had also
7184. Diviti Pratipadikasya out syat saupare.
Very good. So Vasu is coming strong today. Very good. So let's go. What's the number again, Vasu? 71?
84.
71. Diva out.
84.
84. Diva out. Here it is. Diva out. Diva out. Because Sa Anaduhaha. This one we studied. Sa Anaduhaha we studied. This one Sau Anaduhaha. And then we got this Diva out. So when the Su Pratyaya follows, the Div takes the out adeshaha. Of course, alontyasya vakarasya sthane avkaradeshaha ikornachi then rutta visargau. So 7184. Diva out. Diva out is very confusing because you also have a sutram called Diva ut. Diva ut. That's the one thing. They come in different adhikaras. So this is one thing. If you only look at Siddhanta Kaumudi, then you will not remember the different adhikara, because in the Siddhanta Kaumudi, this Diva ut and Diva out might come back to back. So Diva ut comes over here. Diva ut comes over here. And then, it comes, so this is Diva ut and Diva out, different adhikaras. So Diva out is 61131. So 61131 is Diva out. That has a completely different meaning. So 61131 is Diva ut. Diva ut 61131. So Engaf Padanta iti. So Divaha iti Pradipadikam. So it becomes Divaha Padasya Aukaradesho Bhavati. So Dyuman, so Dyubhyam, Dyubhyahi and all that. Anyway, so when this Diva iti Padasya, the Padasanya becomes Diva ut, and Diva out is Sauparataha. Sauparataha. Anyway, right now we need is the Diva out, but it's confusing because in Ashtadhyayi you have Diva ut and Diva out. Diva ut and Diva out. So we want Diva ut, and of course you get the Anubandha Lopaha, and then you're going to do the Rutta Visargau by usual, by the Karavasanayor, so Sasajushoruho, and Karavasana yor visajaniyaha. So anyway, so it becomes Dyauhu. So we get Dyauhu. So Dyauhu. So that is what we have. Now this here, what is happening is here in this compound now, we are getting this div. Take the alaukika vigraha, we get div plus su, again with the same sutram charte dvandvaha, div plus su plus prithivi. So prithivi plus su, and now this is as usual charte dvandvaha, and then we are going to do the usual steps, which is supluk, which is, I think from the next lesson onwards we won't mention these two steps now, which is krittadita samasascha supo dhatu pratipadikayoho. Krittadita samasascha pratipadika sanya supo dhatu pratipadikayoho does supluk. So we get 1246 followed by 2471. Now the question is that what is the vidhanam for div coming in 6.3. So let's go to Siddhanta Kaumudi. Let's see what he says is the okay, idagne tadvanve cha divo dyava divasascha prithivyam. Okay, the sutram is 6330. Divasascha prithivyam, and the same adhikara of Uttarapade. So here it comes in Dvandve. So Dvandva is coming down here. So this is Uttarapade. Within the Uttarapade adhikara, we started from this sutram over here, which was 6325. So from 6325, we're talking only of Dvandva samasa only. So Anangruto Dvandve, then Devata Dvandve cha. So Devata Dvandve cha. So that section is continuing in the Uttarapade section. So these are what's happened to Purapadam, Dvandva samasaha. Dvandva samasaha. In fact, that Anangruto Dvandve, Devata Dvandve goes to 31. So from 25 to 31. So 6325 to 31. Dvandva samasa. Then here it says that Divasascha prithivyam. So let's look at what Bhattoji says on that. which is the divaha ityeva. See, when I say, we have the Siddhanta Kaumudi with us, almost like, sending an email or making a call to, to Bhattu Dikshita. Because Bhattu Dikshita has said in the Kaumudi what he wants to say. So what does he have to say? Divaha ityeva. So divaha ityeva chadyava. Chadyava. So adesha akara ucharanam sakarasya rutvam mabhut. So he says, we'll talk about this in a second. What does this mean? But he says, Dyaushcha Prithivicha. So Divas Prithivyav, and they become Dyava Prithivyav. Divas Prithivyav, Dyava Prithivyav. So it becomes, we have got two Adeshas here. So the prior Sutram was Divo Dyava. So he says from the prior Sutram, Divaha is coming down. Divaha Ityeva. Divaha Ityeva means that this is only for the Pradipadikam Div. So what does it do? When the Prithivi follows, then it gets this, see, this is the divasascha. So he says, so first thing he says is divaha ityeva. So only for div. Then chad. Chad means that because the cha in the sutram, you have cha in the sutram here. Sutram has cha. So that brings in the dyava from the prior sutram. So not only the divas, but also the dyava. So it says chad dyava, chad. Get used to this one. You can get used to this. So chad means that. So chakara grahanena. So chakara grahanena, because the cha is in sutram, it brings in dyava. So it means that now what is this one now? Adeshe akarocharanam. I think this is a typo here. Adeshe akarocharanam. This document is pretty good. It has some typos. Akarosh ucharanam. So adeshe akarocharanam sakarasya rutvam mabhut iti etad artham. So why does Panini says divasascha? So adesh is divas. Why say divasaha? Because what would have happened is that if Panini put divas, it become divascha. Let me explain to you one more time. What's happening here is that the adesha is divas. Now in this sutram, divasascha prithivyam, if Panini did the sandhi karyam and only put divas there, it become divascha, not divasascha. So why is the Panini wasting one extra akara to make it divasaha? So that's what it says, is that the adesha is coming as divasa, not divas but divasa. So in that adesha, Panini has put the akaraha for ucharanartham, but why do we need that? Why does Panini need the akaraha in the adesha divasa? That's the question. Because Panini could have easily said divascha, divaha cha. So what does Bhattoji answer to that? He says that adeshe, in the adesha divasa is the adesha now. Like Ramavat, divasa. Akara ucharanam, excuse the typo here, akara ucharanam. Sakarasya ruttam mabhut means that the sakara should not take sasaju shoru, etc. So Panini, in order to highlight the fact that this sakara of the adesha divas should be kept as it is. Do not apply sasaju shoru and all that to this sakara. That is why Panini has put the akara there, to make sure the adesha is divas and stays divas, does not become sasaju shoruhu and all that. So one more time. In this sutta, in fact, I think Tattvabodhini also will say here, Uttamma say, akare sati sakarasya shavanam bhavati. In fact, let me take you to Tattvabodhini for a second here. We nicely explained here, is that this is 6330. What does Tattvabodhini say? Tattvabodhini says that, it very nicely explained, is akare sati. Because the akara has been used, sakarasya shavanam bhavati, because you can hear the sakara in sutram. By the way, in the old time there was no writing, okay? There was no writing. So they will never say sakaraha drishyate sutre, not drishyate. Sakarasya shavanam bhavati. This is a vak parampara. It's vak parampara. So they will not, like in English now we say, because of the akara we can see the sakara in the sutram. but lekhanam nasti kevalam shravanam pathanam cha vak parampara vartate. Tasmat sakarasya shravanam bhavati iti uchyate. Natu darshanam. Darshanam na shravanam bhavati. So don't be surprised. So I'm just giving you a pointer here is that they will always say shravanam bhavati, not darshanam bhavati. Because this is not to be written, it's only to be memorized and recited. So tena prayoge vikara bhavo anumiyate iti bhavaha. Which means that prayoge, tena, because the sakarasya shravanena, prayoge, in usage, vikara bhavaha, there should be no vikaraha. Anumiyate, anuman is to you can infer that what Panini is saying here is that sakarasya vikara bhavaha. Don't change the sakaraha. One more time. See, as you get more confidence with the Kaumudi, with the Tattvabodhini, you're getting an entrance now. Now you're getting entrance. So the idea of this class is that hopefully now slowly, you can do this on your own. Then you don't need the class really. You don't really need the class. Because these are like the Tattvabodhini, Kaumudi, Mahabhashyam, these are already classes recorded for you. These are all basically classes, they're recorded for you. So if you can understand what they are saying, then you don't really need the class anymore. So he says that akara is, in the beginning of course we'll explain. And if you have a question, always ask, always email. It's always easy for you also. So akare sati, sakarasya shravanam bhavati. In the sutram we get divasascha. So akarasya abhave divascha iti bhavet. It becomes divascha. So sakarasya shravanam nasti. So katham nyayeta sakarasya vikara bhava asti atra iti vidhiyate. So sakarasya vikara bhavaha. So we cannot get that meaning, because only when akare sati sakarasya shravanam bhavati divasascha tena prayoge vikara bhavaha anumiyate iti bhavaha. So iti bhava means this Tattvabodhini is a commentary on the Kaumudi. So he's telling you what is the Kaumudi saying. So Kaumudi is saying is that sakarasya ruttam mabhut. This is the commentary on that. So this should not be ruttam for sakaraha. So in the book, please make a correction. Is that this should be divas prativyau, dyava prativyau. Of course, anekalchit sarvasya. And the thing is that in divas prativyau, ruttam na bhavati. So adeshe akara grahanam. Sakarasya ruttam mabhu iti dyotanartham, iti jnapanartham. So when the word div followed by and correct, this is also a typo, I'm sorry. Look at this typo here. Prithivi, not prithvi. Prithivi. So when prithvi follows div, then the div takes dyava, option takes divas, and in that divas the sakara is not changed. So you get dyava prithivyo, divas prithivyo. So there are two typos here. One typo is that this should be prithivi, and this should be divas prithivyo. This is what I'm saying. When you read Kaumudi, you read these things, there are no typos. I mean, the book, the edition that you may have typos in it. But the Kaumudi itself has no typos. Really, it has no typos. I mean, at least 99.9% it has no typos. Okay. Now let's see what does, I missed some comment by Kalpesh. I think, okay. Anyway, okay. So then the next one we have already done in the class, which is this in the Gana. We saw that Gana, Rajadanta Gana. So this one, which is the Jaya and Patishcha, become Jaya, Pati, Jampati, Dampati. Itself we saw that this thing is that see Jaya and Pati. So Jaya has the Guru Akshara. We have the Jaya. Pati has only Lagu Akshara. Not only that, this Pati will get the Ghi Sanya, right? Pati Samase Eva. Pati Samase Eva. But barring all of that, the Jaya is taking the Purnipatam. In spite of all those rules which you have studied, in this case Jaya, this always I said to you, because of the fact that this is specifically given in the Gana, which is the Rajadanta Adi Gana, Rajadanta Adi Shuparam. So remind, we already done this in the class before. Just reminding you is that normally, just give you 2-minute tour, is that how do we decide in a Samasaha what should be the Purapadam, what should be the Uttarapadam. And the way Panini does is that he says Upasarjanam Purvam. Upasarjanam Purvam. Now what is Upasarjanam? So that which is the Upasarjana Sanya should go Purvam. What is Upasarjanam? What is Upasarjanam? And that will go here, which is Panini says that Prathama Nirdishtam Samasa Upasarjanam. So Samas in the Samasa Vidhayaka Sutre, just Prathama Nirdishtam, that will get the Sanya of Upasarjanam. Upasarjanam. Now, unfortunately, what happens is that is in the Dvandva Samasaha, Anurti of Anekam is coming down. So every padam will have the Upasarjana Sanya. That will not help us in deciding Upasarjanam Purvam. That's why Panini gives the specific rule which we have seen, Dvandveghi, Ajadyadantam, and Alpashtaram. And Alpashtaram has a lot of Vartikani on that. We're going to practice in the homework shortly. It is Gana, Rajadanta Adishuparam. Rajadanta Adishuparam. That is 2231. So that which was supposed to be the Pura Padam is now coming in the Uttara Padam. That comes in the Kaumudi in number 902. It's Kaumudi number 902. So let's see what Bhattoji says. And he says here, Rajadanta Adishuparam is that Eshu, Samaseshu, in these Samasas, Pura Prayog Arham. So that which deserves to have gone first. Pura Prayog Arham. Arham comes in Gita, right? Pujarha Varisudana. Pujarha. So Pujam Arhati. One who is worthy of worship. So Pura Prayog Arham. So Pura Prayogam Arhati. So it deserves to go first. But Paramsyat goes second. Dantanam Raja Rajadanta. This is Tatpura Samasaha. Then he says, Dampati, Jampati, Jayapati, Jaya Shabdasya, Jambhavaha, Dambhavascha Vanipatyate. Vanipatyate, Akriti Ganoyam. Akriti Ganoyam. Every word in the Kaumudi, even if you can get one word, 2 words, 3 words, whatever you can get, try to make an entrance. Try to make an entrance into it, okay? So it is really very important, very important. He says, Dampati, Jampati, Jayapati, Jaya Shabdasya, Jambhavo, Dambhavascha Vanipatyate. If you keep on chanting, like this, reading like this, you will get the meaning. It's not that hard. All he's saying is that Jaya Shabdasya, Jambhavaha, Dambhavascha Vanipatyate. The good thing about Kaumudi is that he does not go into extended controversies. Not because he doesn't want to discuss them. He wants to keep it short. He wants to keep it short and when fit to be memorized. So in Kaumudi, Bhattoji will not go into into extended controversies. He will do that in his other texts, not over here. So if you want to just get the gist of everything, this is the Kaumudis for you. So what he is saying is that word Jaya should have gone second. It has gone first by Jayapati. Not only that, the Jaya takes the Jam and Dam, optionally become Jampati, Dampati, Jayapati. So it is specifically going, this is like a Ganasutram here. So in the Rajadanta Adishuparam, which you already see in the prior class, this is happening here. That completes this lesson now. So this is the full lesson. So one more time, a quick synopsis for you. There's only one sutram for Dvandva Samasa, which is Charte Dvandvaha. Charte Dvandvaha. Then we looked at these 2 meanings in coming Samahare, Itartara Yoge. Now then we went to 2.4.2 to 2.4.16. This entire Prakaranam is for Niyamartham. Niyamartham. Because in any Samasa you can go Itartara Yoga, you can go the Samahare. Samahare means it's a group. It's this group is the Samara refers to a group, not to the individual items really. So that becomes Ekavat. It becomes Napusakalingam also. So here in all this section we went to 2 classes. Is sometimes it has to take Samaharaha, sometimes it can take optionally, sometimes it cannot take, like Nadhipayadini. And anyway, optionality is already there. This is an excellent section if you want to really practice your Niyamartham. If you want to practice Niyamartham in the Ashtadhyayi, this is the way you want to come really. What is Niyamartham? This is a very good section. We looked at that. Then we went to the Samasanta Prakaranam. We got some taste of that. Samasanta Prakaranam. In that Samasanta starts from 5468. Again, don't worry, for the entire next year we will be practicing these sections. Samasanta Prakaranam, which is 5468. These are pratyaya which have tadita sanya, but they are special. They come at the end of a samasa. They become part of the samasa also. Create a new pradipadikam. And there we saw some rules where Panini gives this samanya vidhanam. He gives up to 5485 for any samasaha. These things can be used. And then Panini starts for tatpurusha, what can happen at a samasantaha. And then Panini has only one sutram here, which is the Dvandva Chudashahantat Samahare. So here only one sutram for the Samahara Dvandva. This was 54106. In fact, that was Bhattoji has given in this Prakaranam. 54106 when Bhattoji finishes that here. Cha Varganta, Dashahanta, Cha. Again, some typos here. Dvandva Touch Sat Samahare. There's only one sutram. So there's only one sutram in that section also. For the Dvandva Samahara Dvandva, I mean only for Samahare, only this one. Of course, we also saw that there are some other ones, that Panini may stick here and there. Like I think we saw this one, which is the Ahoratraha Ahasarvaika Desha Sankhyat Punyacha Ratrehe. This first one is for the Dvandva. So yes, even though Panini has only one sutram, he might have some small things here and there, but there's only one sutram which is devoted exclusively to Dvandva. Is also only Samaharaha. We saw that. Then we went to 6.3, which are these two sections, always should be kept in mind. 6.3, we looked at these. Anangruto Dvandve, we saw that. Like Mata Pitaro and all that we saw. And we also saw Devata Dvandvecha. Then we saw Idagne Soma Varnayoho. And we also saw Divasascha Prativyam. So this section here, I think it's 25 to 31, which is talking about the Dvandve. So this is the gist of it. Now, as I said, these recording classes are good because once the class is recorded, it took a little more time than you might have thought. But once we recorded this, now we're not going to come back to this. For the rest of our life, this is now recorded. Of course, it's not complete. There might be some errors. There might be something. But at least the basic job of recording this Dvandva Prakaranam is now done. Let's go to homework. Let's go to homework and see what homework. I think Kalpesh has very kindly typed out this thing for us. I think it must be Kalpesh. I noticed that Kalpesh has done the typing for us. So here in the Google Docs, Kalpesh has typed it out. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So here in the Wednesday doc, so Kalpesh has already typed all this thing for us over here. So he has put in all this one. So everything. Can you please Google Docs so we can correct typo? Yeah. We can do it, Kalpesh, but this Google Doc is a bit slow for me, Kalpesh, in the class. So we are doing it. Maybe you can do it on your end, Kalpesh. But Kalpesh is saying that we can Google Doc this Samasa Prakaranam also. But I think somehow this one is working very well for me, Kalpesh. We can, I think maybe somebody can make a note of these errors which are telling in the class. Maybe Vasu or Kalpesh can do it and edit them at your end. So again, you will not slow in the class. Thanks, Kalpesh. Thank you. So okay, because this also has to be edited. You can only edit by using it. By using only we can edit and get it to the right form. So thank you, Kalpesh, for this Google Docs. So we have all this thing typed in here. So in the first section, he gives, there might be some typos here. That's okay. Some vocabulary in the book. And then we have to go to the exercises. So vocabulary, he gives this Upasarga Yoga. So Nidha. So Nidha is to entrust, to put down. To Plodha is to place. Nidha is to put down. Nipata. So Nipat is to kind of attack also, to come down on, to fall upon on. So it's kind of straightforward. Pat is to fall. Nipat is to fall, come down upon. It also means to attack sometimes, to come down on something. So Nibandhaya Surimata Mashuchas Sampadan Devim Abhijatosi Pandava. Always come to Gita, always come to Gita, always come to Gita. And here we have this in Gita. In the Gita should be at the, hopefully there will be some practice. It should be at your fingertips. It should be at your fingertips. So the moment you hear this Upasarga Dhatu, Samudaya, see the Sanyoga. In that case, you have to think about Gita. I think this coming here. Devi Sampad Vimokshaya Nibandhaya Surimata. That this Asuri Sampani Nibandhaya, it is conducive to bondage. So Nibandhaya Surimata Mashuchas Sampadan Devi Mavijato Si Pandava. So Nibandha. So Nibandha is to bind, to tie, to fasten. Again, fairly straightforward, because here we have Nibandh, to fasten, to arrange. Also means to compose. So means to compose, arrange. Nimantranam is to invite. Nimajja, nimagnaha. Nimagna also means to be engrossed. To sink. Mascha is to sink, to dive. But nimagnaha is also, of course, means to dive also, but to be deeply engrossed in something. Nirasanam. So nirasaha. Nirasanam means to assist, to kshepane, is to throw. Asukshepane dhatuvati. Asukshepane. I think we have this also. I think all of you must be using this one. This due to dhatu pata index we have. So if I look at the dhatu asukshepane, this is the typo here. So Kalpesh, the typo here, Kalpesh. Asukshepane. This is normally this dog is pretty good, but I think it's a typo. Asukshepane. Anyway, so as is to throw. There are sannyasa, right? Sannyasa, all these words we have. So here means nirasa. Nirasa means to refute, to throw out, to cast out, to dispel. So nirasyate. Even like you throw an opinion or something which is wrong. So nirasanam means to throw out. Nirikshanam. Nirikshanam means to gaze at, to inspect. Niriksha is to gaze. Niriksha is to inspect, to gaze at. Nirikshanam. To gaze intently. Nirupanam, rupa is to describe, to observe. Nirupanam is also a description, of something. Nirupanam. Nirgama is, nirgacchati means to go out, to exit, to go out. Nirgacchati. Nirnayaha. Ni is to lead. Nirni is to decide. Nirnayaha. So nirnayanam means to make a decision. Means to lead your mind to something, to decide. Nirdesha. Nirdesha means to point out, to show, to designate, to assign, to define also. To define. This is to show, to point. Nirdesha is some kind of a designation or a pointing, or could be an instruction also, to define, definition, assignment. Nishwasaha comes in Devi Mahatmyam. Tesham krite me nishvaso daurmanasyancha jayate karomi kinyan namanasteshva pritishu nishturam. Chapter 1 of Devi Mahatmyam also has 700 shlokas, very good text. This thing Vyakaranam cannot help us. We cannot expect, Panini will not give us this one. We have to go to the Shishta Prayoga only and get our usage. So Nishvasaha comes in Devi Mahatmyam chapter 1, when the Vaishya and the Raja, they have both are very, 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 very downcast. So Tesham krite me nishvaso daurmanasyancha jayate. So the Vaishya said, I left my family, threw me out. I came to the forest. So nishvasa jayate. I'm sighing, I'm kind of regretting. So to sigh is this nishvasaha. So thinking about, what is happening to my family, I'm feeling sad. So to sigh. So nishedha, of course, nishedh is to forbid, to vent out. And nishkramaha. Yachapyutkra. So nishkramaha, utkramaha comes in Gita chapter 15. Nishkramati. Nishkramati means that he goes out, to step out, to depart. Nisrij. Srij is to release, to give also. Nisargaha. Nisargaha also means nature. One more thing I told you is that when you have a dhatu visarga combination, you can try the various forms of that dhatu. You can try tinganta rupani, krudanta rupani, ghanyanta rup. So all these forms you can try. You don't have to try only nisrij, srijati. So it becomes nisrijati, but you can also try nisargaha. Right? You can try nisarga means nature, that which is released, which is kind of released at creation, nisargaha. So to release, to give, to dismiss also, srij is to release. Now the next page is, he talks about a few more. Let me see if I can get the next page. Okay, next page is here. Next page, Jatihi, of course, Jati is a birth, race, caste. Sunu, who is son, same as English, Sunu is son. Sudha is nectar. And Seman, this Nakaranta Pradha, becomes a boundary or a limit. Sima, Seman, so there might also be an Akaranta Pradipatikum. Let me see, my Apte edition was not working yesterday. Let me try. Kalpesh, is your Apte working, Kalpesh? Is Apte working for you, Kalpesh? Try. Maybe is it working for you? Mine was not working yesterday. I don't know.
No. Apte is down for a couple of days.
Okay, thank you. So Apte is down. Let me try to go to this one. Let me see if I can get the Seema.
Let me give you another good one on this.
Okay, yes, Kalpesh, go ahead. Yeah, Indu has some question. Yes, Indu. Indu, you had a question. Indu, your hand is up. Okay, let me try. I think Kalpesh will give me another one. Let me try that one. Okay, let me copy this. Okay.
That is very similar to yours, but advanced one.
Oh, really? Okay, let me try that. Okay,
and you can type directly in Devanagari there.
Oh, really? Okay. Let me put this one here. Okay. Let me try. Let me try Seaman. Good. Thank you. So let me try that. Let me see Seaman. Okay. Very good. Yeah, this is even better. So Seaman. Separation, parting of the hair. Good. Let me. Okay. Good. Okay. Anyway, so here Seaman, and I think we also have Seema and Seaman. Yeah, Seema, parting of the hair. I think Seema and Seaman. We may have a Akaranda Pratipadikam, also have the Nakaranda Pratipadikam. I think Seaman is probably more common than Seema, but okay. Seaman, boundary, limit. Then Sindhu is ocean. It's straightforward. Siddhi is completion, success. Siddhi. Like Rupa Siddhi, when you get the form, complete the form. So Sahasam. So Sahasam means boldness, boldness or kind of the daring. Daring is Sahasam. So Indu, I don't know if you had a question. Your hand is up, but anyway. Okay, if you have a question, I'm keeping unmuted for now. Okay, now Sarameyaha is the dog. Sarameyaha. I think the Pratyaya is Eya. This Eya Pratyaya, like in a Kaunteyaha. So Sarameyaha. But Sarameyaha is a Tadita Pratyaya. So if you look at the word Sar, let me try my new dictionary here. Sarameyaha. So Sarameyaha. Sarameyaha. Hold on, what did I do wrong here? Should be correct. Sarameyaha, Sarameyaha. Why is that coming here? Let me see. Why is that should be coming here? Sarameyaha. Okay. Let me see.
Can you just type Sarame?
Okay. I think the by the way, this also the Sarama is also the female dog, by the way, Sarama, belonging to Indra and the gods. So Sarameyaha it actually comes from this three-bure duck, become like Kaunteyaha, Gangeyaha, Radheyaha. This will become Sarameyaha. So Sarama, you take Sarama. Yeah, let me see what comes. Anyway, Sarama is the kind of female dog. Divine female dog, the Rig Veda, etc. Sarama, so female dog in general also. So Sarama becomes, okay, let me see why it didn't come before for me. Let me try Sarame. Sarame. Oh yes, Sarameya, I'm sorry. Sarameya is Sarameya and Sara. I don't know why this Kalpesh. It should be Sarameya. It should also work, right? Masculine and dog from Sarama. Anyway, so from Sarama called Sarameya. So they are all the descendants of Sarama. So Sarama plus three-bure duck. Let me put this in document. So Sarama plus three-bure duck. So Saramayaha apatyam. It could be Puman in this case. So we get if it's a masculine and dog, then you take Sarama. Sarama plus pratyaya will be Nyas. And then you add the pratyaya duck, three-bure duck. This is not today's topic, but anyway, good to notice three-bure duck. And this, of course, the duck. So what I'm doing here in the Tasyapatyam Adhikaraha comes this sutram, which is three-bure duck. I think Tasyapatyam starts from 4190. 92, tasra tasyapatyam. And somewhere here you will have the sutram stribhyo dhak. If you're coming from a feminine name, apatyam is coming like you know, Kaunteya, etc. So like Gangeya. Draupadeyascha, Draupadeyascha. Drupadi becomes Draupadeya. So Draupadi becomes Draupadeya. So Draupadis and Draupadeyascha. So Stribhyo dhak, so 41120 Stribhyo dhak. Of course, in the dhak, then once the dhak comes in, becomes the ayaneya ina iyaha further khacha gham pratyadinam. So this the dhak becomes the aya. Ayaneya ina iya iyaha further khacha gham pratyadinam. Pratyadi phakara, dhakara, khakara, chakara, ghakara yatha sankhya respectively becomes ayan, aya, in, iya and iya. So dhakara becomes to dasya aya adesha. So 712. Yes.
On this sutra, I have a question. If you think it need not be discussed here, you can tell me. Ayaneyaniya padakam pratyatinam. In Siddhanta Kaumudi, it says pratyadhi bhutanam phadinam pramadeha nadeha adesha siyo. In Bala Manorama, it says ayano nasya itve nitva swaropayogepi na itvam. Hino nitkaranat na nyapakat. Why is this discussion coming here?
Yeah, what it's saying is that in ayan, right? In ayan. So why is the nakara is not an it in that, you know?
Alantyam, it should throw it away. It is we always said that without prayojanam the sutram won't be there, and also
will not be there, yes.
And also the thing is there is an akara hanging with it always in all this pratyaya.
So the question, I think, okay, let me look at it quickly. Let's see whether we can talk after the class. So let me look at it quickly here. So you're looking at the Bala Manorama. Is it on the sutram 712?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at it quickly. So 712 is this okay, ayaneya ina iya yaha. Okay, let us see. Ayanadayaha pratyashe kala bhavati. Okay, so 712. So 712 is sutram. Okay, let's see what Vasu is saying. 712. Okay, so it says that pratyadehe phasya ayan dhasya ay khasya in chasya iya ghasya iya iti. So iya and iya. So dasya iya. Okay. So it says ayan eya iya esham dvandvat prathama bhuvachanam. Okay. Further khacha esham dvandvat shashti bhuvachanam. Okay, that's fine. Ram. So padishva akara ucharanarthaha. So further khacha gam means only the phakara. Only the phakara becomes ayan. Not the pha plus a, but only the phakara. Thus the pha becomes ayan. Yatha sankhya paribhashaya kramena anvayaha respectively. Pratyadinam ayanaha nasya itvena itva saropayoge api na itvam phinaha nit karanat jnapakat. Okay, what he's saying is that Vasu is that why isn't the nakara of ayan and it? Why is it not an it? It says itve itve. So it says nasya itve nitva saropayoge api. So normally when we say Vasu, something is not an it because prayojanam nasti. But what is being said here is in Bala Manorama is that it has a prayojanam. Nit swara upayoge api. That nit has some swara, it has some prabhava on this swara. So that it will have in the swara vidhi, nittam is important, having no as an it. Then why is nakara not an it in ayan? We cannot claim that it has no prayojanam. It has a prayojanam. What he is saying here is nasya itve. When nakara would have an itvam, then nitva swaropayoge api. So it does have prayojanam. Na itvam na bhavati. Why is not there? Phinaha nitkarna jnapakat. There is a pratyaya called phin. in that pratyaya pin, Panini has put nakara as an it. Nakara as an it. Now, if the phakara itself was taking ayan, and in ayan nakara already was an it, there's no reason for Panini to put the nakara as an it in pin. So basically the fact that Panini has put the nakara in the pin pratyaya is telling us that the nakara in ayan is not an it. Otherwise in the pin pratyaya there is no reason to put nakara as an it, because the phakara will become ayan. Ayan would have nakara as an it, then there is no need for pin to have nakara as an it. But the fact that Panini has put nakara as an it in pin tells us that the nakara in ayan is not an it. So one more time. So normally when we claim that by halantyam, if there is no prayojanam, then itvam nasti. In this case it has a prayojanam, which is that the nitva saropayogaha. It is in the swara vidhanam, there is a prayojanam. Still itvam is not there. Why is it not there? Because the pratyaya called pin is there, which Panini has put nakara and it there specifically. That would not be required. If ayan itself has nakara as an it, there is no reason to put nakara it in pin. So that's the reason why it's giving that this is a jnapaka. So pinaha nitkarana jnapakat. Nitkaranat jnapakat. So anyway, okay.
But
and so on.
The next sentence also I don't understand. That sahasa.
It says tat sahacharyat inaha api nasya ittam no. Tat sahacharyat. Because no, what about the ina? No, because he says khasya ina. So why is nakara not it over here? Because okay, in ayan we got the jnapakam from the pin. But what about in? Why not halantyam there also? Because it says that sahacharyat, because of association with ayan. See, ayan had nakara is not an it, and in the same sutram we have in. So it will not be reasonable to expect that ayan nakara is not an it. So sahacharyat, by the association with ayan, then in also should not have nakara as an it. It will not make sense in the same sutram to have ayan and in, and to have nakara not an it in ayan and have nakara as an it in will not go well together because of sahacharyat. So tat sahacharyat inaha api nasya na itvam. So he says, okay, anyway, so that is what is going on here. So coming back to our lessons, so anyway, sarameyaha is coming from the sarama. Sarama is the female dog, divine dog. And then of course we use so here we will use the dhak, so dhasya e adeshaha, so sarama, and then of course we use the usual rule was, which is krutita samasascha supo dhatu prajapatikayoho, the nyas will go away, and so we'll use that, and then the angam will get of course halantyam at the same time. So again, we're putting all these steps in brief because this is not the lesson for today. Just giving you a kind of etymology of sarameya. Then halantyam will come 133. Halantyam will come. In fact, here also one more thing for you, Vasu, is that why not use chutu? Why not use chutu over here? Pratyadi cha varga ta varga itsyat. So we have ter no. So dhakarasya itvam kasmad nasti. Vachana samarthyat. Because Panini is saying in place of dhakara put aya. So the very fact that Panini is saying that do that means that dhakarasya itsanya nasti. Because anyatha vidhanam vyartham syat. So aya vidhanam vyartham syat. So dhakarasya itvam nasti. Vachana samarthyat. So chutu would have given dhakara and itsanya. If we do that, then the adesha, just like in lasya, same thing here also. So vachana samarthyat dhakarasya itvam na. So anyway, we get rid of the halantyam, and then of course the angam gets the bhasanya removed. When you want to decide pratyay ajadi or haladi or ekach anekach, remove the letters first. Pratamata anubandha lopa tatpascha nirnayaha. So dhak is a ajadi pratyaya because you did the a adesha we got. I mean, it letters are gone. Did the a adesha, even though dhak was not ajadi when the pratyaya was dha, but after the a adesha become aya, then the angam gashta bhasanya yachibham yasyeti cha that akara loko becomes, and in the meanwhile also get the adi vriddhi by kiticha, 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 kiticha. I hope I didn't go too fast. So basically what's happening is, because that kurs and it, meaning taditas, when you have kurs and it like that, it does the adi vriddhi. Adi vriddhi. This is the last sutra in 7.2. Kiticha is if a tadita is a kit tadita, then the adi ach of the angam takes vriddhi. So kiticha does vriddhi for us, and by yasya ticha, that ending akara of sarma is dropped. When angam has the bhasanya, it ends in the e varna or a varna, followed by the pratyaya, which is tadhita or the ikaraha. Then the angasya lopa bhavati alontyasya. So by yasya ticha. Oh, sorry, the typo in the document. Thank you, Indu. Typo in document 120. Thank you. The typo here is 120. So anyway, so yes.
Why not taditeshwar acham adi?
That's only for niti vasu. Only for cha varga panchama, ta varga panchama and it.
Oh.
This has kurs and it. So you need kiticha. So anyway, that becomes sara ma and the aya sarameya. So one more time, stribhyo dhak. This is a feminine term. So you tasyapatyam, you have to use dhak pratyaya. Then you dhakarasya aya deshaha. Then you remove the nyas pratyaya by the supodhatu pradipikayoho. Of course, the kaka halantyam is an it. Angam gets bhasanya by yachibham. Yasyeti cha, remove the akara over here. Then do the taditeshu achama dehe, make it sarameya. So you get the adjective form sarameya. So sarameya, 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 sarameya. Okay, it's an adjective form. That is what's given in the book here. That is the sarameya. Then saranga is spotted. Sarangi can be like a spotted deer or something. Saranga. Sara is essence. Nissara with no essence. Summary. Sap, heroism. Saraha. Means like the stuff, something made of. Yes. Yes.
Satishi, in the previous Sarameya, will
Yes.
we apply 4115?
4115. What is 4115? Ah, yes. Tidhani. Yes. Sarameyi, correct. What Karpi is saying, if you have a feminine dog, and to make a stri pratyaya out of it, it says tidhani. So tidhani. So dha. So pratyaya dha. So if the dha pratyaya is used, and to make a feminine, you have to use a neep. Yes, thank you. If you want to make a feminine dog, become sarameyi. Sarameyi. So look at 4115. 4115. So 4115, what we have is that 4115, what Kalpesh is saying is that tidhani. So it says Tatsambhave Vishtet. So tid adibhya prajpadikabhya striyam ni pratya bhavati. Apavada for top. So dha. So when the pratyaya dha is used, so vainateya. Look at this one. Vinata becomes vainate. Gorudaha, right? Goruda becomes vainateya. Because vainateyi should become sarameyi. So sarameyi. Yeah. So if you have a feminine dog, then in the feminine use 4115 to make it neat. You also yasya ticha. They're ending akara 4115 and 64148. So that will become sarameyi, feminine dog. Okay, yeah, thank you, Kalpesh. So dha also is there. Now we got the sayam is an avyayam, and that is gets in the evening. Sampratam also similarly becomes now. Samagri is a collection. Samagri is a feminine noun collection. Saphalyam, saphalasya bhava saphalyam. Also tadhita becomes from saphala, becomes saphalyam. The section which is coming in tasya bhavastwatalau. Tasya bhavastwatalau. This is section tasya bhava 51119 tasya bhavastwatalau. And then we have this pratyaya shai will come somewhere here. Here it is. Then gunavachana brahmanadibhya karmani cha So one of these, you'll have the shami pratyaya, so that's going to become safalyam. So safalaha means phalena saha vartate. Phalena saha vartate is safalam, which is with the result, successful. So successful, something successful. Successfulness is safalyam, is successfulness. So this safala is a bahuvri compound, something which is with the result, with the fruit. So safalyam is the state of that. So successfulness. Sandra. Sandra means dense. Sandra Karuna. Anybody who chant the Lalita Sahasranama Stotram. Yesterday was Purnima yesterday, right? So yesterday I think it was Purnima. So if you can chant the Lalita Sahasranama Stotram, Sandra Karuna. Sandra means dense, compact. Also means figuratively compact. One who, so Devi has very dense compassion. So compact, dense. Sanu is a mountain peak, is a peak, Sanu. And sadhana, of course, fulfillment, sadhana, adoration. Sadhana also means like the means, kind of your path is sadhana. In sagara is ocean, and sakshat avyam means directly in front of you. So sadhana. Let's see, sadhana has a few meanings. Let me just see quickly. Sadhana in the Punir Williams, sadhana. So sadhana. Means leading straight to a goal, guiding further, efficient, conjuring, denoting, performance. It can be accomplishment of performance, sadhana. So sadhana. Okay. So now time is almost up. Let's do only one example today, and we'll give you for homework. See what is this? We have only 3-4 minutes left here now. So now, if he's given the homework here, is to form Dvandva Samasa out of these. So Dvandva Samasa. So let's take the first one here. Says Pani Cha Padau Cha. Pani Cha Padau. So if we'll take one today, we'll go through the steps required. Okay. So let me see. Does someone do this for you? Let's see. Indu, you want to do this for you, Indu? Indu, you there? You want to try this one? Pani Cha Padau Cha. So first of all, you have Charte Dvandva.
Charte Dvandva, 2 to 29.
2 to 29. So what is the Vigraha Vakyam first of all? He has given the Laukika Vigraha Vakyam in the book. Let's put the Alaukika Vigraha Vakyam, which is the, so Pani.
Su.
No, plus Au. Okay, Au.
Plus.
So, because it's dual, right?
Oh yes, yeah. Pani.
So Pani Cha Pado. Cha. So Pada plus the Au. Okay, so this is Charte Dvandvaha. The first thing you want to check is that how about the Samahararthe Athva Itaritara Yoga. So that's the first step now. You have to check the 2.4 etc. and see which one we are going to get. Are we going to get Samahare only? Are we going to get Itaritara Yoga eva Athva Vikalpa?
Pani is Dirgha, right? Sorry, Sarisi.
That's only because it's dual.
Right. But you got to write it as Dirgha, right?
No, the Pradipadikam is Pani.
Oh, Pani, okay.
Because Pani hi Pani Panayaha. Right?
Correct. Right.
So this is a Pradipadikam. Now, so what I'm saying is the next step. So for next step is homework, okay? Homework. I want you to follow these steps. So start from Charte Dvandvaha, then go to the section of 242. This is a chance to practice now. So for homework for next time, we'll do only one class. We are out of time right now. So we'll do one example today, but I want to give you the steps for the next time's homework. So please practice. Please try on your own. So first step, Charte Dvandvaha. Second step is come and see, Samahare Athva Itaritara Yoga. So here we have the sutram which is Prani Turya. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes,
Prani Turya Senangana.
Senanganam. So this is Niyamartham. This whole section is Niyamartham. One thing you want to stamp on this section is Niyamartham. Vikalpa already we have. You have. But here specifically says, so Samahare Eva. Again, to see what Bhattoji said in the very beginning, Bhattoji says very clearly Bhattoji says is that he says Esham Dvandva Ekavat Syat Panipadam. He says Samaharasya Ekatvat Ekatve Siddhe Niyamartham Prakaranam. This entire Prakaranam is Niyamartham. Is Pranyangadinam Samaharaha Eva Yatha Syat. Always remember that's Niyamartham. So you can only be Samahare. So that's the second step. You check the 2.4 section. Okay. So you can only do Samahare. Of course, then these are going to be common steps. Is the Kritya Samasascha Supodhadi Pradipadika Yoho then we get the Panipada. Even before that, Indu is what gets the Purnipataha, what gets the Uttanipataha. What do you think? What can we use? So let's look at that. So that's the section which is the 2.2. 2.2. So which one can we apply here?
Dvandveghi.
Yeah, Dvandve. So we have the Dvandveghi, Ajadyadantam, Alpachtaram. Start from Alpachtaram. Alpachtaram is the Parakaryam. So only when you have Pani and Pada. Both have only 2 Acha. Then, so Alpachtaram will not really help us here. How about the Ajad? So start from here. Start from Alpachtaram and the Vartikani on that. Then you go to the, in fact, you can even go one step further. In Pani and Pada, one is Guru. So they both have a Guru Aksharam. So even that also will not help us. Now, Ajadyantam, none of them qualify. It has to be Ajadi. We don't have that. Then Dvandveghi, as Indu said, is that the Pani as Gi Sanya, Shesho Ghiya Sakhi. So Dvandveghi, so that's the third step. Or second step, I should say. Second or third step, doesn't matter. So this is for next time's homework. Next time's homework, follow all these steps. You will practice. So 2 to 32. 32 says that you have to the Pani is going first, 2 to 32. Okay, so that's the third step. And then, of course, so we have to do the Chartya Dvandvaha. Look at the Samahararthi Atva Itaratra Yogaha. Then you can see which goes the Purnipataha. Then after that, you can also check, do we have any of these rules that we looked in 6.3? Do we have any? Also check that do we have anything in 6.3 that we practiced, which is Anangrito, this only Rukarantaha, we don't have that. Devata Dvande, we don't have that. Idagnehe, we don't have that. Then Dyava Prithivi, we don't have that. Now, do we have 5477? This is what you should be checking for homework next time. 547, do we have that? We don't have that here either. Nothing here we can really use from this one either. We cannot use any of that. So those don't apply. So the Samasanta doesn't apply really for us. None of these sutras that we have over here, we can apply them. There's nothing in 6.3 to apply. So then we are done. We only then do the final step, which is we make it Pani Pada and then decline it. So when you make Pani Pada, so here we have of course used the Samasascha Supodhatu Pradipatikayoho 2471, and then of course then decline it like one shabda becomes Pani Padam, because then we have to use 2417 Sanapumsakam. Once we do a Samahara, but don't forget Sanapumsakam. It's Ekavad, also Napumsakam. So when you have Ekavacham Napumsakam, you add the Pratyaya Su, and of course Atuam Amipurvaha. So practice there also. Atuam Amipurvaha. So Atuam is 7124, Amipurva is 61107. Keep on practicing as many rules as you can. So 7124, and then of course Su or just will come, but Su only will come, only Ekavachanam. Then we'll get 7124 Atuam Amipurvaha. So anyway, time is up. So one more time for next time's homework for all these exercises. Please practice. So here first step is you start from Chartya Dvandvaha. So all these examples please practice like that. Then you start and you check, can we apply anything from 2.4? Next step. Then what takes the Purnipataha? So look at the sutras in 2.2. That's the third step. So first step is Chartya Dvandvaha, which is 2 to 29 for all of these, any one of these. Then after that, you go to 2.4, 2 to 2.4.16. See what niyama has been done over there. After that, you come back to 2.2 and see when you have in 2. This 2 to 32, 33. Then you go to 6.3. Do anything in 6.3. 25, 26, 27, 30, 31. Then you come to 5.4. What do you have over there? 5.4, so 5.4, 77, etc. Anything is there in the Samasantaha. And then after it finally declined appropriately to Subandha Prakriya. So Chartya Dvandvaha, then look at the Niyamartha, which is Niyamatam Prakaranam, which is Samahararthe Atva Itaratra Yoge. After that, check the Purnipataha, Vyavastha for that. Check the Samasanta Prakaranam. Check the 6.3 also. That's we do all the homework. So we stop with that. So next time we'll try to do most of this homework next time. We want to go step by step. We only record once. we only record one time. So this is taking time, but I want to go through every step clearly. We will not come back to this. We will not come back to this. When the record is recorded one time. So this on all of these, please go through all these steps. Deciding if samara is required, what is the Purnipata Vyavastha, what is the Samasandha Prakaranam, what is 6.3 saying, and then of course the Napumsakam fits Samararthe, and we finish this. So let's stop with that. Ramo Rajamanistada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Vijata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Rama Nasti Paranam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chattile Sada Bhautame Bhora Mama Muddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanana Onnama Iti.